water is what it carries. That's what people don't understand. Water is a transport medium.
Mm-hmm.
So healthy water in the environment has a range of bacteria. So, now we can't survive without bacteria. But we've had too many of these damned ads on TV saying, if you buy our disinfection product and make us rich, we guarantee the safety of your little children. And we'll fill up hospitals with kids who are sick, because we need to have every living thing needs a range of what I call environmental bacteria. So water is a transport medium to the things that are needed in nature. And it's a microflora, we call it, different bacteria, and also minerals and nutrients to different levels. So it's only when we overload water with too many things that's transporting that its structure changes. So probably not the chemical crystalline structure of the water itself changing. It's what we're transporting in the water that's changing.
Great partner of ours, Analemma Water, and the gentleman's name is Dolph. Jim and I actually spoke with him the other day. He went through a very in-depth presentation from his 40 years of interacting with water. And he brought up things about the energy and the light and the things that are in water in that regard, and actually generating coherent water, which essentially meant just ordered. So the structure of the hydrogen atoms and the oxygen atoms just being in a certain way that was properly ordered. I don't think I'm saying things right, but that's what made me ask the question about rainwater being coherent, because the Analemma water system does that. It makes the coherent water. And maybe, Jim, you do have a system on your property now and have more experience with it. So maybe it's something you can touch on a little bit.
It is beyond my ability to explain but here's what I know for sure about it is there's been many, many studies done by independent organizations, colleges and universities, that show the difference in plant growth. And to me, that's fantastic. And then not only the difference in plant growth, but when they test the light in the plants and they test the nutrient density in the plants and the gut biome, they have more. He described it like a symphony, where when you get certain chemicals in the water, those chemicals might take out the violin. They might take out the cello, right? And enough chemicals are going to kill the water, which makes it sound like a different thing than we understand water to be. But when you structure it or you add this type of energy to it, this symphony becomes stronger again and more diversified. And he actually measured it in light. When they take these different things to measure light, they have much more light refraction somehow in the structure, in the water, and in the plants that are growing with the water.
I know what he's saying, Jim. I had a PhD student, Craig Evans, and we published a paper about the ecology of rainwater. We actually found, and rainwater tanks, rainwater harvesting, storing the rainwater in a low nutrient environment that isn't a rainwater storage from roof water. And it enabled us to research the ecosystem of rainwater in that manner. And what we found is it formed a natural ecosystem that was very close to a very healthy ecosystem out there. And it was also very close to a healthy microflora in your stomach. So there's a lot there. And
that wouldn't be the case with utility water, right? If we're comparing, so I think what we're saying is rainwater is an entirely different beast than what you might get out of, your city tap, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Craig and the team found, Michelle, that once you're adding all these chemicals to try and make it meet regulatory targets, rainwater, you're actually taking out big chunks of the ecosystem. So the natural ecosystem of the water is quite limited. And the natural ecosystem of the the stored rainwater, when it wasn't altered by chemicals, actually had the right components for growing plants. And the other experiments we've done is, as you probably found yourself, the best way to water plants is with rainwater. Because if your water's altered with lots of treatment chemicals and so on, the plants don't really like it. And seedlings hate chlorine, for example. It makes sense if you're a biologist. So, yeah, I agree, Michelle. If we keep altering the water,
So
it's not going to be as functional as it should be.